Hello and welcome to this edition of Crunch Time. I'm Edan Martinez with my boy Joshua Ventures. Today we're going to take a look at the NBA playoff picture, dive into LSU's dominant win over Iowa in the Women's National Basketball Championship game, as well as looking at the men's side in their Final Four tournament. And then we'll dive deep into UConn's national championship run. For now, I'm going to send it over to Joshua Ventures. He'll talk NBA.
It's that time of year, man. The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and teams are trying to compete for spots in the play-in and seeding for the playoffs. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at the Eastern Conference. Right now, you start off with 3 50-win teams at the top, with Milwaukee sitting at number 1 at 56-22, the Celtics at 54-24, 76ers at 51-27, Cavs at 49-30, the Knicks at 46-33, the Nets at 43-35, the Heat at 41-37, and you got the 39-39 Hawks at the 8th seed. So you got a few teams looking to compete for the 8th seed in the play-in tournament, with the Raptors at 39-39, the Bulls at 38-40, the Wizards at 34-44, and the Magic at 34-44. For the West, the Nuggets keep striking gold as they sit at top with 52-26. The Grizzlies at 49-29, the Kings at 47-31, the Suns at 43-35, the Clippers at 41-38, the Warriors at 41-38, the Lakers at 40-38, and right now you have the 48-38 Pelicans at the 8th seed without a healthy Zion Williamson. You got a lot of tough teams fighting for the 8th seed in the West and fighting for play-in spots. You got the Timberwolves at the 9th seed with 39-40, the Thunder at 38-41, the Mavericks at 37-42, and the Jazz at 36-42. With only a few games left, teams are getting hungrier and hungrier, so it'll be interesting to see how the full playoff picture plays out. LSU took a dub over Iowa Sunday night in the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship game. LSU won 102 to Iowa's 85. Coming into the matchup, two premier headline players, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, were set for a back-and-forth battle. Caitlin Clark dominated throughout the whole tournament, including dropping a 41-point triple-double in the Elite Eight. Clark dropped 41 points in back-to-back games, and this is the first time someone has had consecutive 40-point games in the history of women's tournament. Clark's 191 points throughout the NCAA tournament is the most in men's and women's history. Clark and Iowa dominated opponents throughout the whole tournament with their outstanding three-point shooting, and history was made as number 3 LSU wins the 2023 National Championship, its first in program's history. After 6 attempts in the Final Four, LSU finally broke through the title game and won it all. Their coach, Kim Mulkey, turned the whole women's basketball program into a winning culture within the span of a year. Jasmine Carson topped the LSU in scoring with a season-high 22 points, including 7 threes in the championship game. The Tigers beat the best offense in the country at their own game. Angel Reese finished the game with 15 points and 10 rebounds. Angel Reese put up her 34th double-double of the season, also breaking the single-season record for double-doubles. Both players have great futures ahead of them as they are at the top of their game and at the top of the league. 9.9 million viewers watched the NCAA Women's Conference Championship and is the most in television history. There's been a lot of spark throughout the social media about Angel and Reese's celebrations during the game, trolling Caitlin Clark. So let's talk some more about that later. The NCAA tournament went out with a bang over the weekend, leading into Monday night's championship game. The San Diego State Aztecs and the Florida Atlantic University Owls start off Sunday's Final Four with the instant classic. After beginning the game with a 14-5 lead, the Aztecs slowed down, allowing FAU to creep back into the game, taking a 40-33 lead at the half. The Aztecs will find themselves down 14 points at the 14-minute mark, then quickly start to flip the script as their defense would settle down and play the 4th-ranked best defense in the country. After going on a 16-4 run, the Aztecs turned the game from a blowout to a dogfight, turning the game into one-possession final game. For the final 4 minutes, Lamont Butler hits a buzzer beater to send SDU to their first ever national championship game. With 12 seconds left after a big defensive stance, the Aztecs would have hauled down the court, getting the ball to junior Lamont Butler as he would hit the game-winning shot at the buzzer. The Aztecs would defeat FAU 72-71, completing the largest fourth comeback since 2001. The UConn Huskies took on the Miami Hurricanes Saturday night, ultimately winning in yet another blowout fashion. UConn defeated Miami 72-59 to advance to the national championship game. The Huskies took a commanding 9-0 lead to start off the game, never trailing their whole route to a 72-59 win. Adam Sonogo put on another clinic, leading the Huskies with 21 points and 10 rebounds. The Hurricanes had no answer to slow down the Huskies. Obviously, we tried to do, not only didn't work, I couldn't even recognize it, Miami coach Jim Loranga said. Offensively, we were out of sync, but defensively, we were too. We're going to kick it back out to Idon for more.
And when we return, we'll take a look at Monday night's national championship game between the UConn Huskies and San Diego State University Aztecs.
You feel it from the moment you enter our campus. It's a legacy of greatness. We are the Golden Lion family, committed to innovation and truth. We all come from different places, but now call the Pride Lands home. Whether it's the sciences, arts, or business, we're shaping the minds that one day will reshape the world. The University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Become a part of the Pride.
And welcome back to Crunch Time. Monday night's national championship game between the UConn Huskies and San Diego State University Aztecs was one for the history books. UConn caps off their dominant season by winning the national championship game versus San Diego State 76-59. UConn now has 5 men's basketball championships in the past 25 years. This is the first title for Coach Dan Hurley and UConn's first since 2014. Josh, how do you feel about last night's game?
Man, last night's game was a great game for UConn. UConn just showed their pure dominance that they've been showing throughout the tournament and since the beginning of the season. They showed their three-point shooting. They showed their dominance inside. They get down low. They get in the paint. They'll clog the lanes. They'll put those big guys down there. You can't be able to score down there. Then they'll kick it out. If they don't pass it down low and Sanugo don't put up 10 rebounds and 21 points, they'll just kick it out to Jordan Hawkins or somebody, and they'll just light you up from the three-point yard.
No doubt. UConn definitely looked like one of the perennial powerhouses as they started the year off 14-0, found themselves in the middle of a slump going 8-6 in their next 14, but ultimately found a way to win. You got to give props to them, and as much as it was a kind of lopsided game, you got to say that San Diego State put their name, on the market right there. Basically, just proving that they're one of the toughest mid-majors to come out and compete against UConn. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, San Diego State, they have no reason to feel ashamed. They play a great tournament. They won a lot of close games. They won a lot of games against some higher seeded teams where a lot of people doubted them. But they showed their defensive tenacity. They showed they're willing to grit and grind and get out there and win games even if it's ugly.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, San Diego State, in every game was decided by a 1 point or a few more. I mean, they really are nitty gritty. They get down in the bunkers and they know how to play basketball. And you just feel. I know their head coach the other day said that as much as this was the national championship, you want to win the game. You still can't feel too bad about it, even though you want to win. But that team they had had great chemistry, and they're going to remember this for a long time.
Right. They had a great season. Even though they didn't really necessarily do great in the game, they shot 29% from the field. Whenever you're going up against an offensive powerhouse, you're going to need to shoot way better than that. And they went on a long stretch of over 11 minutes without making a field goal. So even though they had a great season, next time just come out with a little more offensive intensity, and I feel like they will have a better shot next year.
No doubt. San Diego State really had to do 3 different things to win. They had to keep it really a one-possession game, as well as shooting from the field goal, and it was just tough. But congratulations to the UConn Huskies and Coach Dan Hurley. And with that being said, appreciate everything we all do here, and thank y'all for joining us.